Topping our lineup today here on the Now, with concerns about coronavirus, your kids are likely asking a lot of questions. We have advice from a psychologist about helping them understand the situation without scaring them. Now, we do note the importance of washing our hands to stay healthy all the time, but also during the coronavirus outbreak. So we used a glow germ testing kit to see just how necessary it is. Also this.
It's very helpful when they send you feedback, so you can know if you're doing it right or wrong, so you can get proper medication.
How a new app could be the key to making sure kids are taking their asthma medication properly.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Amanda Starrentino, and you're watching the Now Indy. We continue to stay on top of the newest developments in the spread of the coronavirus. Today, Indiana recorded the first death from COVID-19. The patient is a Marion County adult in the high-risk category, over age 60 and with other health issues. But officials say this person would not have died if it were not for COVID-19. Today, the president issued new guidelines as well. That includes avoiding gatherings of more than 10 people, along with not going out to eat at bars or restaurants, something that's not a problem anymore, as all Indiana bars and food spots are closing except for carry-out and delivery. And thousands of people depend on IndyGo for their daily transportation. Many people are able to work from home during this time, but others still need to go to work and use the bus system to get there. As a precaution, IndyGo has increased the frequency of cleaning and sterilization of both buses and facilities. It's also added extra staff so these sanitation efforts can be done without impacting bus schedules. Each bus is undergoing intense sanitation, as well as the Carson Transit Center. IndyGo representatives say they are closely monitoring the status of the virus, and staff and executive leadership are having regular meetings about the topic and how to keep workers and riders safe. They are asking passengers to take their own precautions as well before and after riding the buses or visiting any IndyGo facilities, like washing your hands or using hand sanitizer. And when it comes to business dealings, a handshake has long been a sign of respect and goodwill, but health experts are now recommending no handshakes and an elbow bump instead. Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into why change is not so easy, so you stay safe and you don't waste your money.
For generations, Americans greeted each other with a firm handshake. But during these troubling times when many of us don't want to touch a doorknob, is it time to stop touching other people when you meet? World leaders do it. Sports heroes do it. Handshakes are a part of our daily life. But coronavirus is starting to turn us into a no-touch society.
Fist bumps versus shaking hands or not touching at all.
If we touch, out comes the sanitizer.
I just have Purell in my purse.
Nick Veer runs an advertising and marketing agency. Is it tough to get by not shaking hands?
We are human beings. We touch, we shake hands. That's a reinforcing thing.
But already some places are putting up signs banning handshakes, like here in the Utah State Capitol. Veer says it's tough breaking old habits.
I still can't completely shake giving a hug to someone I haven't seen in a while, who's been a friend for a long time.
But it's not just the hug and handshake habit we may have to break this spring. Just think of all the things you touched in the course of a day. Somebody hands you that morning cup of coffee. Then maybe you stop by the mailbox. You touch that. Then, of course, you head to work where you touch the same handle everyone else does. From door handles to elevator buttons to faucets, we're going to have to readjust routines for coronavirus.
With my hand, my sleeve, and grab the door handle, so, yeah.
So Veer and I practiced a quick fist bump and realized it's going to take a while to feel comfortable. With coronavirus spreading, you're not going to insult people if you back away from a handshake. Tell them you're trying to keep both of you safe so you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matarese for WRTV 6.
5:33 on this Monday, cloudy Monday, and a few showers around as well. I'll find those as we look into the clouds in a second with our radar. Thermometer says 46 degrees. We're a little below average. We should be lower 50s at this time. We'll make it there and beyond as we go through the rest of the week. All of the gray is the cloud cover. Let me show you some departing showers. Nice little downpour. Northeast of Muncie. It will pass between Portland and Winchester in northeast Indiana, also near Marion. These are arriving in western Indiana. Rockville to Terre Haute, the showers sliding east. Temperatures will change very little. They'll stay in the 40s. These scattered showers through 11 o'clock tonight. Those are the temperatures we'll wake up to, generally upper 30s. And there's how St. Patrick's Day plays out. Temperatures low 50s by afternoon. A dry day with a mixture of clouds and sunshine.
Carry out or delivery. That's all. Restaurants in several states hope that business will be enough to keep them afloat after some states have required restaurants to shut down their dining rooms. The National Restaurant Association says it's just too soon to tell how many people could lose their jobs. The association says it has pushed out guidelines for extra sanitation to restaurants, including the best antimicrobial products to use. One restaurant rep says customers should know it is okay to ask staff questions whether you're in a place that you can still dine or can only get food to go.
I would talk to the manager and just ask them, what are you doing to mitigate risk? Have you expanded seating? Have you moved things around? I've seen some restaurants that have cut their seating by 50%.
Larry Lynch says food prepared properly is safe. The Centers for Disease Control's website says currently there is no evidence to support transmission of COVID-19 associated with food.
So as long as we're packaging it properly, it's being transmitted to the driver in a sealed bag and is making it to your doorstep, and you've got that comfort level, we don't see a problem.
The National Restaurant Association says it is talking to members of Congress this week about possible aid for workers who lost hours or might lose their jobs altogether. Now, with big changes coming for restaurants, Uber Eats is also making some tweaks here to help support local businesses. It's waiving delivery fees in an effort to get more customers to place orders. It's also changing how restaurants pay. Uber Eats will allow them to pay daily instead of weekly. And finally, drivers are taking some new measures to protect customers' orders. The National Security Council is trying to calm some fears. It sent out this tweet saying that rumors of a national quarantine are fake. Those rumors started after a breach at the Health and Human Services Department. Bloomberg says the intruders put out some false information in mass, causing major issues. Now, major concerns for airlines across the world. One industry consultant says many of them could be bankrupt by the end of May as a result of coronavirus. Many major airlines have already cut back flight capabilities. One of the biggest low-cost carriers in Europe says it will ground most of its fleet in the next week. Airlines have turned to governments for help. All right, let's get back to our lineup. Your kids are likely asking so many questions about coronavirus, so we have advice from a psychologist about how to go about helping them understand this situation.
Substance use disorders, treatment, and recovery.
Tonight, Metro Police are investigating an early morning shooting that led to a man's death. Just before 5 a.m., North District officers found the man shot at 16th Street and North College Avenue. He died at the hospital. A second male was located nearby and taken to the IMPD homicide office for questioning. If you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Indiana's unemployment rate dropped to 3.1% in January. The last time it was lower than that was November 2000. The January number is a slight drop from December and remains lower than the national rate of 3.6%. It is also the lowest among our neighboring states.
A growing number of school districts around the country are shutting down in response to coronavirus. Now, when talking to your kids about why that's happening, experts say that you should try not to scare them, but to talk about it in a way that they can understand.
Most of us have never really experienced an illness that's so transmissible, that is so contagious, that really could overwhelm our health system. I'm not going to talk about that with a little kid, but I will let them understand that we really want to try hard to make sure not everyone gets sick all at the same time, and that we can really try to reduce that.
With teenagers, Dr. Lynn Buthka says that you can talk more about the greater implications of the virus spreading. She also has some recommendations for what to avoid in conversations. First, she says, don't promise anything. You can't promise that family members or loved ones won't get sick, but you can say you'll do everything you can to keep them healthy. Second, don't minimize the concerns. Instead, try to understand where they're coming from and be open about it. And finally, don't give up on all your routines. That means things like bedtimes stay the same.
All of us do a little bit better when we have a regular routine that we follow. And sticking with that routine helps to maintain normalcy in times when things feel a little overwhelming.
Dr. Buthka says parents should also check what kids already know about coronavirus to make sure it is accurate. Now, we do have an eye-opening demonstration to show you just how necessary it is to wash your hands with coronavirus spreading.
Check out how disgusting the grocery cart is. Just goes to show you how quickly germs can spread.
Yeah, ew is right. That's really not the only place that the germs spread. Ahead, just see how many other surfaces they were able to contaminate in just a short time. As people work to stay healthy amid the coronavirus outbreak, experts say remembering the basics, like just washing your hands, can go a long way. But do you really know how to wash your hands? Might seem like a simple question, but Russell Haythorne has an eye-opening demonstration.
What we know about coronavirus is that experts say it can live on surfaces like countertops, your hands, or even a glass of water, anywhere from 2 hours to 9 days. So we got this glow germ testing kit to see how quickly germs can spread and how many surfaces they're able to contaminate.
We enlisted these two wild, crazy rascals, aka my kids, to help us out.
This is the powder-based simulated germs.
We wiped this stuff all over their hands.
Why is it blue? Yeah.
My 6-year-old germaphobe was immediately skeptical.
And we're going to see how long it takes for this to get all over other surfaces.
Then we let them loose.
You got it?
With one rule, don't touch your face.
Ooh, yeah.
They played catch, ran, and one of their favorites, grocery store.
We need some pancakes, looks like, and an orange.
Never mind their lack of care loading the groceries. The point is, this is a good simulation of the germs we collectively spread in the real world. And after just 10 minutes of play, we flipped on the black light.
Check out how disgusting the grocery cart is. Just goes to show you how quickly germs can spread. Look at that.
While that's bad, remember those faces we told them not to touch? My 4-year-old had it everywhere. Her mouth, her cheeks, even her little eye. Then we tried the simulated germ lotion.
Rub it in.
To demonstrate how long you need to wash your hands to get rid of germs. What I learned is that my 6-year-old kindergartner has a new song at school.
In the front, in the back, in between, and that's how we get our hands clean.
Experts at Children's Hospitals say you can also hum Happy Birthday twice or sing your ABCs.
And so that means for at least 20 seconds, making lots of bubbles and foam when you wash your hands. So for sure after you use the bathroom, for sure before you eat anything.
What we learned here is almost everything is covered in germs. So good hygiene is your best defense.
Russell, thank you. Now let's check in with the news feed. You could see some delays on your Amazon deliveries. The company says coronavirus is having an impact on operations. More people are also shopping online. Apple is making sure the information on coronavirus in its app store is accurate. It's banning coronavirus-themed entertainment apps and games. Apple is only allowing apps related to the pandemic by official health organizations and trusted agencies. AMC Theaters still open for business at the moment. Each showing, though, will have a max of 50 people in the theater. AMC, Regal, and Cinemark are still open.
Parents all over the country are settling in for their kids being at home for a long period of time due to the coronavirus. Disney is trying to help those families who are cooped up. It released Frozen 2 on Disney Plus yesterday, several months early. Most upcoming new releases have been postponed due to the virus, including Disney's own lineup. Few March or April movies remain on the calendar. The move by Disney could indicate how other media companies funnel their films into streaming services in the coming weeks, as studios look to find ways to capitalize on audiences stuck at home. And ABC's The View will be without co-host Joy Behar this week. She said she is staying home due to concerns about the coronavirus. She says at 77, she's in a higher risk group because of her age, but adds she's, quote, perfectly healthy. Kevin.
Perfectly cloudy across central Indiana. Hello, Bloomington, down on campus at IU. Temperatures in the 40s today. We'll be able to do better than that as we work our way through the week. Temperatures will climb a little bit each day, peaking, I think, on Thursday. The rain chance will go up as that warmer air brings more moisture, and then that sets us up for the big fall. Temperatures temperatures will drop off quite a bit by the time we get to the weekend. Take a look at the radar, the gray, and maybe some sprinkles in the metro area. To the northeast, you got the showers that are sitting around Winchester and Portland. Those will be leaving while some others come in near Terre Haute. Your temperature in Vigo County at 45. 46 in Indianapolis. Temperatures through the evening hours will change very little with that cloud cover around. I think the scattered showers will linger, probably until 11 o'clock, maybe even after midnight, but won't be any heavy rain. That will be later in the week. Tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, 45 at noon. We'll battle the cloud cover, the tug of war again between clouds and sunshine. Afternoon reading will peak in the low 50s. By evening, back in the 40s. Your Wednesday planner, there'll be a better chance of rain, and that will come in through the mid-morning to late morning and then settle into the afternoon. Some of the rain may be heavy at times, but notice the temperature. We make our first run at 60 for the week. We'll talk about the next threshold that arrives Thursday coming up.
More than 5 million kids across the country have asthma. Big challenge doctors face is making sure that these kids are taking their medication properly. Aaron McPherson found a new app that could be the answer to that.
8-year-old Alasia Smithwick-Bay has asthma. She's been living with it her whole life, but relies on her rescue inhaler a little too much.
Rescue inhaler is if she starts wheezing, if she can't breathe, short of breath, it's hard to breathe, her chest hurts, anything like that.
Dr. Scott Krugman says the rescue inhaler opens the airway. The other is a controller medication focused on prevention.
The biggest challenge we have is getting families to use their controller medicines regularly and correctly. With kids, you can't just put the inhaler in the mouth. It doesn't work. You spray it, it just goes in the mouth. It doesn't go into the lungs.
That's why LifeBridge Health decided to partner with a company called Emoca.
We already do help patients who have received a transplant, patients with diabetes, patients with tuberculosis, HIV. This is our first foray into inhalers. So it also opens up the possibility of helping patients who have COPD.
Sebastian Seeger is the Emoca CEO, focused on helping children with asthma using a phone app.
So you would go to the app and then you would put in your PIN.
They're starting with a pilot program in Baltimore with 17 patients. Alasia is one of them.
And then it will go to the camera. You would set it up and then you would press this.
She has to inhale the medicine and hold her breath for 10 to 20 seconds. Shake it and do it again. Then the video is sent directly to a nurse for review.
Think of it as a daily medication appointment. It's just happening at different times.
And the nurse will give the patient feedback if necessary.
It's very helpful when they send you feedback so you can know if you're doing it right or wrong so you can get the proper medication.
Now, since she's been using the app, she rarely has to use her rescue inhaler.
She doesn't get out of breath, she can be more, so it's really beneficial.
Yeah, today I was taking my pop, and I did not need to use the rescue inhaler today, and I did go to school. Since I've been using it, it changes my breathing because I don't forget, and I take it more, and it helps my breathing.
Emoca's goal is to expand this program nationwide.
Saving money is important. Most people don't start until they're adults. Financial experts say it's beneficial for kids to start learning right now. Now, we spoke with Tanya Van Court. She came up with an app to help kids save money called Goal Setter. She said when it comes to talking to kids about saving, frame it around setting goals.
When kids want something, then that is a goal, whether that is an Xbox or they want to go to a special place that they love. They want to go to a Chuck E. Cheese or to have a fun experience. You can start talking to the kid very early about that being a goal, that goal costing money, and let's save enough money so that we can accomplish that goal.
Van Court says it's all about baby steps. Have your child save a set amount of money every week or month. Now, NerdWallet ranked the best savings accounts for kids. Boeing Employees Credit Union, that had the highest APY on this list, 6.17% with a $0 minimum balance. Alliant offers 1.90 APY with a $5 minimum. Then Capital One making the top three for its 1% APY with no minimum balance. Now, if you'd rather take the app-based approach, the Goal Setter app lets you start with just $5 and it has 1% APY. Dog parks are getting busier this time of year, but they're not the best option for all pets. The signs that you need to watch for with your dog to make sure they're safe.